While employed at a retirement home, Travis receives devastating news. Due to financial cutbacks, he has been laid off. The following day, he joins a friend at an anti-war protest. During the event, his friend reminds him how, back in college, he often volunteered for various scientific test studies to earn extra cash. Suddenly, the peaceful protest turns chaotic when a soldier violently attacks the demonstrators, knocking down a beautiful woman whom Travis had been observing from afar. Instinctively, Travis rushes in, pulling the soldier away and raising his fist in anger, though he cannot bring himself to actually hit him. The authorities step in, restrain the soldier, and take him away. Travis helps the woman, named Bay, back to her feet and invites her to grab a drink with him once the protest wraps up. At the bar, Travis and Bay bond over their shared experiences with activism. Bay then reveals that this is her final protest. She's leaving soon for India, and encourages Travis to come along. He tells her he can't afford such a move, but he does ask to see her again before she departs. Later that night, while browsing the classifieds, Travis comes across an ad seeking volunteers for a behavioral experiment offering $1,000 per day for 2 weeks. Seeing no harm in trying, he decides to sign up. The next day, Travis attends the preliminary meeting and befriends 2 other applicants, Michael and Benji. The experiment's overseer, Dr. Archuleta, explains the project's purpose: to study the living conditions within a simulated state penitentiary. Participants must never have served jail time, and though safety is guaranteed, some volunteers will temporarily lose certain civil rights to make the simulation realistic. Everyone fills out detailed questionnaires before undergoing personality evaluations and moral interviews. During his recorded session, Travis admits he's never been incarcerated, has no violent history, and doesn't follow any religion, explaining that his moral choices come purely from intuition. Michael describes his background in scouting, drill teams, and church groups, emphasizing his devout faith. Another applicant, Chase, describes his carefree philosophy based on women, weed, and smiles. Once the interviews conclude, they are shown a montage of contrasting images, from innocent children and cute animals to disturbing scenes of real-world violence, intended to test their emotional responses. A few days later, Travis spends time with Bay before she leaves. While kissing his hands, she confesses she knows he wouldn't have struck the soldier during the protest. They talk about India again, agreeing that he'll find her there once the experiment ends. Eventually, Travis is selected among the final 26 participants. On the day of departure, a bus collects the group, including Michael, Benji, and other familiar faces, and heads toward the facility. Each volunteer reflects on personal memories and interview responses. Benji thinks of a kind barista he once admired, Chase remembers a casual fling he mistreated, Michael recalls his overbearing mother, and Travis thinks about Bay giving him her bracelet. Upon arrival, the volunteers are prohibited from bringing personal belongings inside, worrying Benji, who relies on his supplies. Dr. Archuleta addresses everyone once more, reminding them that any display of violence will immediately terminate the experiment. 6 participants, Michael, Chase, Bosch, Helwig, and 2 others, are appointed as guards, while the remaining 20 become prisoners. Guards must enforce order, ensuring that nothing enters or exits the prison block. Prisoners are bound by 5 strict rules. They must finish all 3 meals daily, have 30 minutes of recreation, stay within designated areas, speak only when spoken to, and avoid touching guards at all times. Any rule violation must be punished appropriately within 30 minutes. Failure to do so triggers a red light, ending the study with no payment for anyone. After the doctor departs, the guards begin the intake process. The prisoners are hosed down and stripped of dignity. Bosch feels uncomfortable treating them so harshly, but Chase quickly embraces the power, mocking and humiliating a man named Oscar. Once cleaned, the prisoners are lined up to hear the rules. They are now identified only by assigned numbers. Travis is placed in a cell with Benji, a graphic novelist, and a quiet man named Nix, who insists on being referred to only by his number. A flashback reveals each man's motivation for joining the experiment. Nix and another volunteer simply wanted the money. Michael joined to support his injured mother and cover rent. Chase saw it as a way to impress women, and Travis wanted to escape his life. During the first recreation period, a basketball accident occurs when a ball accidentally hits Bosch in the face. Despite his insistence that it was harmless, Chase and Helwig argue it violates Rule 5, prisoners can't touch guards. Fearing a red light, the guards decide to issue punishment. The player refuses to comply with the push-up order, claiming it was an accident, so Chase forces all the prisoners to do push-ups. Michael enjoys the newfound authority, especially when the 30 minutes pass and the red light never activates, signaling their actions were approved. By day 2, the prisoners are served an unappetizing lunch resembling bland bean mush. Nix dutifully eats his portion, but most refuse, leading Helwig and Chase to threaten discipline. Travis retaliates by dumping his food onto Helwig's hands. Chaos ensues as the prisoners hurl their trays and food at the guards. Later, the guards debate what to do. Chase complains that the prisoners act out because they know the guards can't use violence. Michael recalls his fraternity initiation days, concluding that humiliation will break their spirit. That night, the guards storm the cells, discharge fire extinguishers over the prisoners, and chain Travis to the bars to sleep on the floor as punishment. When Michael later cleans up in the bathroom, he realizes with disgust that the power trip has aroused him. That night, Benji suffers from low blood sugar, begging for help, but the guards ignore him. On the third day, Michael grows irritable when Benji remains bedridden. After reviewing his form, they discover he's diabetic but claimed he managed it with diet. Since they confiscated his bag, he has no snacks. When Travis defends his friend, Michael's temper flares and he pulls out his baton, though Travis warns him that violence would forfeit their pay. The guards intervene to prevent escalation. Later, Travis and Nix discuss the experiment's purpose. Nix theorizes they've been thrown into a cage to reveal who becomes the lion and who simply survives. Travis disagrees, arguing that humans are more evolved. He also deduces that Nix lied on his form and had been to prison before, pointing out his Adrien tattoo. Nix admits it and warns Travis to keep quiet. His only goal is to finish and collect his money. Meanwhile, the guards grow increasingly divided. Chase predicts a prisoner uprising. Bosch denies it, but Michael insists they need to re-establish control. They seize Travis, strap him to a chair, and forcibly shave his head while Michael drunkenly lectures about breaking the leader. When Travis mocks him, Michael kicks the chair over and urinates on him, to Bosch's horror. Some guards join in, emboldened when the red light once again stays off, suggesting approval from the observers. Back in his cell, Travis reflects on his earlier interview when he said he didn't believe in revenge-based justice, as it only fuels endless conflict. On day 4, he secretly saves some bread from lunch for Benji, who confesses he truly needs insulin and had lied to qualify for the experiment. Travis suggests alerting the staff, but Benji refuses, determined to prove he can handle it. Their argument is interrupted when Helwig discovers Bosch rummaging through confiscated bags. When confronted, Bosch admits he was looking for Benji's insulin after promising Travis he'd help. Michael feigns forgiveness, retrieves the insulin, then drags Travis to the bathroom. As he shaves his own head, he claims he isn't a monster and that the continued lack of red light proves the scientists condone his discipline. When Travis mocks his logic, Michael orders Helwig to dunk Travis's head into the toilet until he submits and admits he's just a prisoner. Later that night, the guards beat Bosch in the camera-free room as further punishment. By day 5, Benji seems slightly better, but Michael shocks everyone by demoting Bosch to prisoner status. Furious at his authoritarian attitude, Travis takes off his shirt and climbs a cell gate, demanding to be released. Michael slams him down and chokes him with his baton until Benji rushes to intervene, hitting Michael from behind. Enraged, Michael strikes Benji repeatedly, leaving him convulsing and bleeding. Michael orders the prisoners to be separated and isolated. Travis is thrown into a narrow boiler pipe overnight, where a camera still monitors him. They use Chase's keys to free the others, though Benji has already succumbed to his injuries. Furious and united, the prisoners storm the office, breaking down the door. The guards retreat in panic. Michael grabs a knife and urges them to fight back, but they're outnumbered. Travis confronts Michael, blocking his knife strike and beating him savagely until red warning lights finally flash and the facility doors open. Hours later, a bus retrieves the participants. Everyone leaves wearing their original clothes, as though nothing happened, each carrying a fat check. Weeks later, the story hits the news. Dr. Archuleta faces trial for manslaughter over Benji's death, with most prisoners testifying against him. Travis eventually travels to India, reuniting with Bay, who notices his hands are no longer soft.